Now this is the page for your employment expenses. So for me, I work from home due to COVID, and I'll be using the temporary flat rate method, which is a very easier way to calculate your expenses. So just hit on plus button, and they will ask if you work more than 50% of your time from home from a period of at least a month. So if this applies to you, hit yes, and now you can enter the number of days you work from home. So you can calculate number of days. For me, let's say if it's 50, so if you're working from home for 50 days, you will get $2 for each day for a maximum of $500, and this will help you reduce your income taxes or tax payable. Now once you're done with this part, you can click on next. There's this T4A, which is for other income such as scholarship or even some benefits from government like CESB or some COVID benefits. So I took the benefits. That's why I'll be using T4A form to discuss those. And if you are not able to download those, you can always add it. So this is my T4A, which was pre-filled due to the downloads that I made from CRA. Same goes for Seneca College, where I got $1,000 for my scholarship. And there are some other boxes which you can read and write amount if it applies to you. Just in case if you don't have this already downloaded, you can go back to T4A right here and download a new report or add a new report. Now this is how a T4A report would look like. Ideally, you would see your payer's name, your name, and the income tax deducted if there is, and how much you got paid. So using these boxes and the amount, you can fill this. Ideally, the most used boxes would be your income tax deducted to be precise, and the income that you made. So there are various options like scholarships or other fellowships that you need to declare if you earned throughout the 2022 or your financial year. So once you're done with this, just click next, and here you can fill other income. Usually I don't have it, but if you have it, you can always click plus and read it and add it. Now this is the business income, or you can also say the self-employment income. This is very beneficial for someone who is doing Uber or Skip and all of those things. Here you can declare your income as well as you can claim your expenses for that income. So if you have that income, just hit on plus, which will lead to this page. So first you need to identify your business. So usually if you're doing Uber or any self-employed business, you would do same address as the return. You will write your own name as your business name. Use the beginning period, that's the first day of the year and the last day of the year. And if you're doing a Uber or Skip, you can select this tax code, which is 492210, which is local messengers and delivery. Under that, you can write meals delivery, that's Uber Eats for the product service, and you can do 100% of those because 100% of those income are from Uber Eats or whatever your income is. Now for me, it's sole proprietorship. If you have a GST account, you can always put it in, but I don't have any of those, so I won't use it any here. Now on the next one, you can write some other expenses and income as well. For example, if you received any commissions or any other things, so you can take if this was your first year of operations and all those. So you can fill it in according to your need or according to the documents you get from CRA. So usually for us, there will be no cost of goods sold if we are doing Uber or Skip, because there's no expense of food that we do. So if you want to deduct any expense, you can read and put your expenses there. If you incurred any expenses throughout the financial year, there are meals expense, entertainment expense, rent, if you incurred it for business purposes or your private self-employed income. And after this, you can look at other things. Most likely if you're doing Uber or Skip, none of those applies to you, and you can go to next again. If you have any income from self-employment where you are working from your home, or you have a small business or a small startup, you can always claim your electricity expense, your internet expense, your insurance, your mortgage interest. Also, one more suggestion that I would like to make is, if you have a car and if you're using it for your self-employed income or self-employed business, always make sure to file your taxes through professional accountants, because there are various other expenses like your EMI, your insurance, your maintenance, your fuel costs that you can claim, and they have more professional experience than you do. So it would be best to get your taxes filed by some professional CPA who can make sure you get most out of your expenses. This is the most important part, where you would declare your tuition expenses, which will help you to get your taxes back as a refund. So if you're fortunate enough, it will be downloaded from CRA as well. But if you're not, you can always click on the plus button and get the form. And in the form, you can fill out all the information. So ideal T2202 or a tuition enrollment certificate would look like this. The year would be there, your college or university, your student number, your name, and here you can see the 4 semesters and the time period you attended them. Was it part-time or full-time, and the eligible tuition fees. So using this and this explanation, you can always fill in your documents here, and this is how I did it. So you can enter the description of your college. So mine was Seneca College. 26 box would have your total tuition fee paid throughout the year. 24 would be the part-time months. So if you're in a co-op or you took less classes in summer, you would ideally see few months here. 8 months for full-time, and this should be the unused tuition fee from prior years, which you didn't use before, and this won't be in your T2202 statement, but it would ideally get downloaded from your CRA. And here you can decide what to do for unused tuition amount. So always make sure to carry forward to next year. Once you're done with this, hit on next. Again, hit on next. These are just some prior information that they are displaying it to you. There's some information like your employment income from prior years. If you want, you can confirm a few things here. Now, this is a very important part where you can apply for tax credits. So if you live in Ontario, most likely you can apply for Ontario Trillium benefit, which will enable you to get your benefits from your rental payments that you make. And if you are from different province, you can select accordingly. So as we selected Ontario previously in our address, we would see Ontario's tax credits. But if you live in, let's say, Saskatchewan, you can see their respective credits applicable here. So for us, for people living in Ontario, it would be this. Again, if you live in a student residence, you can again claim some taxes right here. So you can click on it. But for us, it's just this one. And there are some questions here, so do you want to apply for Ontario Energy and Property Tax Credit? So click yes. Application for Northern Ontario Energy Credit. So if you live in northern part of Ontario, you can click yes, but I'm not living there, so you can click, if you're not living there, you can click no. So there's also option to select for delayed Ontario Trillium benefit payments. So usually you get it every month, but if you want to get a single amount at the end of financial year, so instead of getting in 2023, you would get the whole amount in 2024. You can also do that by clicking yes here, but ideally I don't suggest that. Now there are some other credits for senior homework owners, some other separations you would like to make. And you can also declare about your principal residence. So this is where you can claim your rent and property tax or other benefits. So you can always. So to claim the rent, you can again go back to Ontario Tax Credit and hit the plus button for rent paid, which would enable you to get this new page. But first we'll finish this. After doing that, who should receive the Ontario Trillium benefits and all the property tax grant? You can claim it here and click on next. And this is the page where you can put your current address and get some benefit of the rental payments that you made for 2022. So you can write your street, you can put your city, your postal codes, your months you lived in a resident, and the amount of rent you paid. So if you have more than one resident, you can go back to tax credit and hit plus again for different months for different address. So for example, if for the first address you only lived 4 months, so you can put 4 here. On the second one, if you lived the rest of the 8 months, you can put the 8 here, and you can put the amount of how much you paid for that particular residence. And always make sure to put the name of your landlord, if it's a private or if it's a management for your apartment or condo. So after doing that, you can go to next. Again, click next. And this is some other benefits. So in this one, if you are eligible for workers benefit, always click yes, but I'm not. And this is climate incentive. And there would be an estimate given to us at the end that I will show you, which would be an estimate by UFILE. And so we can claim the estimate. Now you would also get estimated calculation by UFILE for your GST HST tax credit. This is very important for you as a student or as a person of low income, because these are like quarterly payments of a large amount of $100 if you have good amount of income. So I would say yes to get the estimate, and they always say yes to this. So your tax is calculated at marginal tax rate. If you want a checklist for tax, you can also click yes, generate checklist, to make sure you did everything you can for tax filing. And once you're done with this, you can click next. Now you can use this off code if you are a student. So if you have a T2202 on your tax filing document as your tax filing documents, you can put this number and file the tax for free. But if you're not a student, it's just $20 to file the taxes, which is way lesser than what market offers or what market charges, like accountants. So again, go to next. And this is the end. Once you go to next, you can click on review. Once this page comes, you can click on review. And in this review, you will get your estimates on tax refund, your taxes paid, your taxes charged, and even your net income throughout the year. So I can see my total refund is $1,600. And you can click on summary to get your estimate on what was your total employment income, your taxable income, and how much you got back and how much you paid throughout the year. Also, you would also see some CPP refunds. So there might be some instance where you overpaid CPP, which you would get back right now. After you're done with this, you can click on tax return, which will enable you to see the complete tax filing document, including your GST credit estimation, your climate incentive, as well as your Ontario Trillium benefit. So click on tax return. Now here, it will ask you to confirm some changes. So once you click accept, you won't able to change your full name, your SIN number, and your birth date. So also it will say you have qualified for a free return as we use the student code. So you can accept this. Now this is your complete tax filing document, and you can always download this PDF to save it for future use or reference. And you can scroll through various parts. So this will be your executive summary, where you get your total income, your Trillium benefit, your climate incentive, your GST credit. So the one thing that I liked about UFILE is that they give us estimates and worksheet on how they came up with various credits and various tax payments. So if you scroll down on the left side, you can see all the checklists, all the worksheets on how federal income tax and refunds were calculated. So you can always look there. We also have some details on how GST was calculated. So if you click on this, you can see how your GST estimate was done, and you can see you would get a 496 refund. For my case, it's 496. For your, it would be different, and you can also see what would be the most likely months where you'll be getting those amounts. If you go to climate action incentive, you can also see the amount you'll be getting. So this depends on the area you live. For Toronto, it's 488, which would be divided into 4 payments. So you can also check the calculation for your Ontario Trillium benefit. So there is this detailed calculation here. And using the calculation, you can see the total you would be getting was 469. So if your total is above 360, you would be getting equal payments of on the respective dates like January, February, March, April, May, June. And you can see all the calculations here. But if it's lesser than 360, you would get a single payment on July 2023. So this is a good way of getting the details. Now, once you're done with everything and happy with your filing, you can click on Net File. And if you did everything correctly and the software is happy with you, you would see Ready for Filing. And once you click on it, it would be successfully filed. So this is how you can file your taxes by yourself for free as a student and with just $20 for non-students. So I hope this was very valuable for you, and this is as easy as it gets. It's complicated on some part, but once you understand the process, it's easier. And as a student, I would recommend you filing taxes by yourself to save money and learn how to apply concepts that you learned in college. Maybe you are doing accounting. So I hope this helped you, and you can always slow down, and I'll put timestamps in this process so you can go slowly to understand the process and do it correctly. Thank you. Good luck.
So this was the video. So if you have any questions or concerns, comment down in the comment section and I'll try to reply to as many as possible. I hope this video was something for value for you, and hit the subscribe button if you want more videos on career tips or even guidance for students in Canada and beginners who want co-op or internship. I will soon release a video on YouTube where I'll explain what are my goals with this YouTube channel, what is my long-term vision, and my desire to build a student community in Canada. So I hope this video was useful for you. So hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with your friends who might benefit from this. And cheers!